So hi, welcome to the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
I'm Han.
And I'm Jim, and we are Hot Milk.
Aaron. Some questions to say about the upcoming album, A Call to the Void. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
You say congrats, you've not heard it yet. It might be a pile of shit.
It might be, but we can only hope.
I don't know.
Honestly, haven't heard it yet, but listened to the singles again this morning. Singles are great. Stoked for the album.
Yeah.
It's peaked. No, I'm joking. It's good. No, it's taken a lot to get here, hasn't it, Jim?
Oh, it's been a lot of blood and sweat and more blood and
Lots of crying. But no, we're
Late
stoked.
nights.
Like, obviously, our fans have been with us for 3 EPs now. It's about time we gave them a debut album, and you only get one of them. So we hope that it's good, and we hope that it evokes the correct response,
Hell
which
yeah.
is obviously adoration.
Of course.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that it's going to be amazing. You guys are incredible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you
thank
very much.
Of course.
Try my
so-
best.
So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
There's lots of meanings.
too
Go
many.
on, Jim. Do you want to tackle some of them?
The title, I mean, it comes from the French. Is it saying or is it
Yeah, it's like an idiom. It's like a lapel de vide, which is the notion, when you're driving at night and you're like, I could just go and crash into that tree and that'd be really
Jump
fun.
off a
Or like
cliff.
you're on the edge of something, you want to jump off, and it's that overarching like evil thing on your shoulder that kind of pulls you towards the darkness.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like it's the spectrum of human emotion. It's the dark and the light and everything in between.
I
Which
call it a modern analysis of a dichotomy between the inner world and the outer world, but it can go a bit wanky with the description of it. But essentially, like it is something that I think a lot of people experience, isn't it, Jim? I think there's a lot of loneliness in a void. I think that's something that we've both experienced recently with going through grief, and going through heartache, and falling out of love with yourself as well in the middle of all of that.
I guess it's kind of just a record of like kind of finding yourself, like moving from one, every kind of 5 to 10 years as you grow, you kind of develop as a human differently to how you've been in the prior kind of section of your life. And it's kind of one of those like understanding yourself and how you feel and how the world works around you and how what you kind of give to the world. It's kind of, I guess it's like a finding yourself album, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to say coming of age because I feel like we've definitely gone beyond age at this point, because we're quite old. But it's like, I don't know, it's quite a dark album, but I think it's littered with comedy because comedy and tragedy obviously go hand in hand. And with us, like we're quite jaded about life, but we kind of also enjoy it in a really horrible way. So it's kind of like that feeling of hopelessness and loneliness, but then it's also got like this element of like I'm screaming, which relates to the cover art, but I'm still alive because I'm being like electrocuted in the process of it. It's like that. You can drag me through this life kicking and screaming, but I'm going to enjoy kicking and screaming. It's kind of a bit, it's very nihilistic, which is, I think, what we are. We're kind of like, it'll be all right. Fuck it.
It's a very British way of looking. It's
Very British record. Very British.
Yeah,
Very British.
Pumping through the veins.
pissing down with rain, and I've forgotten my umbrella, but at least I've got a beer.
Hell yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
It started basically by force. We came back off like a 3-month kind of tour, and our label and management were like, right, about time that you write a fucking album, innit? So they shut us in a room, and basically we weren't allowed to come out until we gave them something. I think it was kind of almost torturous. There was a lot of feeling and emotion that we hadn't really kind of focused on through those 3 months, just because we've been so focused on like the road or the show or like everything that was kind of like day to day. And then they were to kind of step back away from that and have to like answer like the cold hard truths of like, who are you? What do you want to do musically? What do you want to talk about? And all these things, like, what do you feel? Because like you can't just, I don't know, it's the same with like any art. You can't just put something, well, you can, but it's not really, it's pretty disingenuous. You can't just put anything down to paper without real thought or reason to it. Otherwise it's kind of disingenuous. So it was one of those.
I think like when we went into the room the first time though, we wrote 4 songs in 2 days. I think like they are the most rawest and truthful, and I think the next single, Breathing Underwater, that is the one that I think is the antithesis of that period, because it's essentially about pressure and how we just felt like this is too much. And I think the first 2 days of writing, we came out with 4 singles, which was insane, really.
Shocked a lot of people.
That's kind of what we do. We work well under pressure, don't we? And even though I cried, I went, I want to go home. I've not been home in 3 months. I want to get a plane home. Like, we just ended up like going, fuck it, we're here now. Let's have a go. We wrote 4 songs and went, great. That was hard, but look what we've got. Like, it's one of them. Like, you never know what's going to happen. But then after that, we wrote the most of it. We wrote those 4 in LA, and then we went home and wrote the rest of it in Manchester. And then we went and tracked vocals in Sweden, didn't we?
Yeah. I feel like after we got over that initial kind of like, because I don't know about you, Han, but like me personally, I've always built this up, like the first album to be like this big thing, which it is, but like this like mountain that you can't quite reach the summit of. Like, oh, maybe you're going to give it a good shot and you're going to come up short and it's going to fail. And it was one of those things where I was just a bit like, nervous and overfaced by it. But actually when I got into it, I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, and it kind of came quite naturally.
It did. By the end, it was like, this is Hot Milk, this is us, and we kind of got to the point where we were like, I don't give a shit if no one likes this. This is us, and this is the best we've got. And if it don't work out, then maybe we're just shit. Like, maybe we are. Like, maybe we don't deserve to be in a band. Like, this is us, and we like it. You like it, you don't, but at least it's true to ourselves. Not trying to be anybody else. We're just trying to write rock music we like, and it's, it's a blend between rock music and dance music, and it's like got a bit of grime in there. It's all the stuff that we like in like what we want to play. And honestly, if you don't like it, you can shove up your ass. Like, I don't give a shit. I want to play these songs.
Yeah. And
absolutely,
James, you had said like if the music isn't genuine, like you guys don't want to put it out. Like, was the pressure for this album like kind of what forced the genuine nature out of it? Because it feels like it was very much like you guys have to do this like now, like you don't have a choice. So like, was the pressure kind of like what made the songs genuine?
100%. It's like everything that this band has kind of stacked up to become is being pushed by pressure, and the pressure's only got more and more so, like the bigger the stakes. We've got to the point.
Well, that's pressure we put on ourselves as well. It's not necessarily other people. We put it on ourselves.
Yeah, like we're like, this is it. This is do or die. Like, as dramatic as it sounds, we are very dramatic people, and our music's very dramatic for that reason. But yeah, pressure is, it's all part of, you put pressure on someone and you really kind of see who they are and what they're capable of. And I feel like that record is a very good snapshot of how we were feeling at that time.
Absolutely. And then you also mentioned that like immediately after tour, you still wrote for 2 days and shit out 4 songs. Sorry. Yeah. How did you manage to do that? Because you just got off tour, you're physically and mentally exhausted. What kind of kept you going just for those 2 days?
I mean, I had a big cry the first day. I just got it all out. I was sat in the studio in Madden studio with Zach Safini, and we both just cried. Well, I cried. You were like, Hannah, get it together. And I was like, right, took myself off, got a coffee, got a bottle of rum, and we just, I mean, I can't want to say I drank through it, but I kind of did. You know what I mean? Like, we just fucking cracked on and went, right, we're here, let's make it work. This is an opportunity. And I just slapped myself and was like, get out of that mood. Just do it. Get on with it. And Zach's it's that like...
Zach's basically our therapist. He knows us, like, he knows us really well. He's been there since like the birth of Hot Milk. And he knows what we're capable of. He knows the kind of like what we're trying to achieve with musically and like lyrically. So he almost just like sat us down and put us back on the straight and narrow. So I guess it was somewhat of him getting us through it as well. Just kind of like giving, like saying like, this is the reason why you do shit. Like, this is the reason why you're in a band. Like, fucking wake up and
I think we always like to start like writing with him and then go home and finish stuff. You know what I mean? And then like, we did 4 with him, and then the rest we kind of wrote at home. But I think like it's good to have someone get you reground yourself, because I think because it is just me and Jim that write in this band, then it's kind of like sometimes you need that third person just to give you a bit of like a perspective and foundation, because you know 2 things aren't very balanced sometimes, you know, it can go that way or another. Third person can really bring it into consolidation and give you a majority, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. We fight our way through everything. Everything is like this all the fucking time. So having someone as a referee is pretty good.
Great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It is good that you guys do kind of, I guess, bump heads, fight, I guess, because that shows just how passionate you are about what you're putting out. So
I love how you said fight like that, because it's literal fights. You know, I mean, we will physically fight each other.
Oh, geez.
Like,
oh my God.
Brawl.
Someone's coming out with a black eye.
And as a
100%.
scrapper.
No, because he's like my brother, innit? It's like how you fight with your sibling, like short, like you're wrong. But no, like it's good to have a referee.
100%. So what song off this album took the longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
Longest to write.
I mean, Deathbed was the one that was finished last.
It was. We were kind of looking at like basically we wanted this second verse. It was a bit it was really kind of like stereotypical grimy Britain, like, you know, like the video, eating your cheesy chips on the way home, you know, kicking around in the rain outside of a shitty pub.
So no good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really wanted like the British rapper on it, but we couldn't think of one that either wasn't cancelled, problematic, or that would sound good on it. And so we were kind of like left it till last just in case we had an idea for someone to come on the track and feature, because I don't really like features personally. I feel like sometimes they're a bit conceited, forced, and a bit of a cash grab. And so for me, it has to work with the song. And so we were waiting for the perfect one. And then we thought, you know what, fuck it, we'll just do it ourselves, because I don't think anyone's going to do what we actually want in a way that we want to do it. So we ended up just leaving that song till last because we couldn't figure out the right person for it. And actually the right people for it was just us in the end. But what's your favorite, Jim? I don't know. What's mine?
I kind of like Migraine. Again, this is probably like one of the ones that's taken the longest to put together, because it's a combination of like, so we went, it's got a weird fucking story to this. So we are on the same management as Mark Coppice, and we were in LA, and management were like, do you want to write a song with Mark? And we were like, sure, let's go. Here we go. So we drive up to his house in Hollywood, and we get out of the car, and he's there to meet us, and we go sit in his basement, surrounded by like Blink
memorabilia
over the last fucking God knows how long, and I'm just sat there like, this is bizarre. And then he just hands me his bass and is like, do you want to try writing? So yeah, that was a bizarre thing. And then we came home and we were like, oh, well, we don't like this about it, but we like this about it. So then we opened up the demo folder that we had from years ago, and we were like, well, we like this chorus, and it became like a patchwork of stuff that isn't like you copy and paste like stereotypical pop structure, which I kind of like because it's a bit different.
Yeah, it's got a weird structure to it, which is it's musically it pushed us. And I think as well, when we went into that session, we were like, we want to come out of this song with something that sounds the opposite of Blink-182.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't even sound like Mark's touched it, but he has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got him. The only thing that you can see, he plays a kazoo on it. That's the only thing you can do. But I don't know, that was a weird one. That's your favorite because I think musically it was like a challenge for you and you really enjoyed putting it together. I really like the next single, Breathing Underwater, because I think that, you know, I think musically as well, that was one of our biggest achievements on this record. I think that is really going to make people go, oh, hang on a second, Hot Milk are that kind of band, interesting. You know, I think it really like changes the way that we might be seen. And I think it elevates us. And I think it's, as a now 30-year-old woman, and I feel like I can't be fucking jumping about to little teeny bopper pop punk shite anymore. Like I want to do stuff that's got a little bit more gravitas to it. And I
it's
think
got a fucking key change in it.
It's got a key change, you know.
Got a bit where we've got to stand up off our stools.
Yeah, after they stand up like a Westlife. Do they have Westlife in America?
I don't think so. I've never heard of
Oh,
that.
what the fuck's you don't even know what take that is, James. Oh, never mind.
No.
You know,
Backstreet
like the
Boys?
boy band moment when the key change happens and they'll go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Oh hell yeah! I love
Great.
that.
No, it's good. It's a really good song. I'm really proud of it, and there's not a lot that I'm proud of about our band and ourselves, which sounds awful, but I think it's because of like anxiety, self-doubt, and all the other things that come along with it. But I think that is a song that I can be proud of, and I'm excited for people to hear it.
Hell yeah, stoked to hear it. So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, close be the closer? Did you shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
So the first 4 songs, the 4 singles actually.
No, they're not.
Are they not?
No.
They came. What? Yeah, they
I
are.
wrote it and I sent it to you. No, I don't think they are. I wrote it and sent it to you, and you went, "Yeah, cool."
Oh,
I think that's how it came about.
No. Okay, so they came first, but we kind of wrote the track list. This is what I was meaning. We wrote those first 4 songs, the 4 singles first, and then we kind of wrote the songs around that in a track listing order. So we were kind of like, we were writing as we were going. You know what I mean? We kind of did like this opening track to facilitate.
Like when you've got a sandwich and you've got the bread and you're like, well, I need to build this sandwich. We did it like in order of like a delicious sandwich rather than making a sandwich and then going, oh shit, I need to put some lettuce in, opening back up and putting the lettuce in.
Yeah.
We built a sandwich as we went along, didn't we, Jim?
Yeah, because like, we've done a bunch of EPs before, which are essentially, like a house for a bunch of singles. And it sometimes can sound a little bit kind of like mismatched and just like individual pieces of work on a body. Whereas we really wanted this album to feel like an album and kind of like play, because, with shuffle and fucking playlists breaking up like albums and, you're taking away from how the artist wants you to hear the music. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to really try and make something that kind of runs through as like a full piece of music. Mm-hmm. So there's like interludes that bring tracks together, blending of tracks, stuff like that that's inside of it, which I think makes it feel a bit more cohesive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's a piece of work. It's a piece of art. It's a piece of art, mate. It's a piece of art.
It's stupid.
Put that shit in the museum. Hell yeah.
So are you able to tell us where Headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Don't want to ask that question.
What headspace am I still in? Clinging onto life with sharp Talonly like fingernails. I don't know. I don't really enjoy being alive generally, but I mean, look, it is what it is. Right? It's the constant curse of an artist, I guess. Like some people are naturally like optimistic. I'd say I'm a realist. Like it depends what you've gone through in life. We've had a lot of grief recently, and we've had a lot of stuff not go great in our personal lives. So we're kind of just. I mean, for me, I'm just like getting through, and the joy that Hot Milk brings me is meeting like great people and playing great shows and having, sharing moments with our fans. That's what I'm alive for right now. I'm not alive for much else, but like that's what brings me happiness. So that's Hot Milk is and always will be like a therapy and a diary entry situation for me.
I'm glad you have Hot Milk.
Yeah, me too, because I don't know, I make me cry. But yeah, in a weird headspace for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, what about you? Take the heat off me.
They call me King of Stress. Everything I do is fucking stressful. I don't know. It's one of those. It goes back to pressure again. Like I put myself under a lot of pressure because I take on too much, and it makes me physically unwell. Like it does make me really, really like sick.
I'm glad to hear that you actually admit that. Actually, I feel like I should record that and then.
Don't worry, it's being recorded right now. It's going on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell! This is definitely like let's share the therapy session.
I know, innit? I'm not bothered about that. I just feel like you got to be open about how you feel. There's no point in lying because it always ends up coming out anyway. In other ways, you got to be truthful. You got to be honest. And if you're not, then you're just lying to your fucking self. Get a grip. And there's no harm in sharing how you truly are and how you feel. Like you got to. And I couldn't anyway. I can't lie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't lie, me.
Appreciate you guys being so open and honest. doing this. It means a lot. So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your heads, I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. Both you have to do it. 3 words each.
3 words each. You go first, Jane.
The first 3 was please don't bin, but that doesn't even make sense. Does that even make sense?
Please don't bin.
Please don't trash.
Don't describe the sound. We don't know what we want people to not do.
But that was the first thing that popped into my head.
I mean, if that's how he wants to...
I think that little of it. Why do I have to go first? What's the word? Maximalist.
Very maximalist.
Intense. And how can I sum that up in one word? Like a hybrid of emotion.
Conglomeration.
What's that?
Conglomeration.
There you go. Let's go with that one.
Mm-hmm. And because I've had time to think, I'm going to say it a little bit faster and more eloquently. I'm going to say erratic, cathartic, and menagerie, because it's a menagerie of many things and many different genres in one. You know, we got rock music in there, obviously we've got dance, we've got some enough to take a pill to and fucking come up, you know what I mean? We've got lots of crying songs, we've got a little bit of poetry in there, you know, inspired by the John Cooper Clarke, the Bard of Salford, not that you Yanks would know, but at the end of the day, like, it's a lot of things in one. Menagerie of shit.
Perfect.
That's great.
Love it.
That's great.
Awesome. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends, dark with headphones on?
It's my ass now, right? I think front to back, on your own, and listen to it, and then you'll know the bits where you've got it. It is with the friends thing eventually, because obviously there's an element of Hot Milk. I want everyone to come together through it. It's a unifying band, you know what I mean? We want people to feel like they're part of something. But I think it's also very personal, a lot of these songs, and I think you'll find more worth in it if you listen to it alone first, and then you and your friends will go, oh, I know that bit. And that's where I want, you know.
I feel like you're right.
Yeah.
Get like some headphones that you love, turn the lights out, get in somewhere comfortable, and just put it on and close your eyes and just listen to the whole thing back to front.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like.
Fuck yeah.
Especially that last song, especially the last song on the record. I feel like that's about like dementia. And so it's quite a heavy one. And I think if you've ever gone through it, anyone in your family's ever gone through that, then I think that'll be a very heavy moment. Even if you've not, I think it's a very heavy moment and also it's like a sound that we'd never ever explored before. So there's a lot of new things on this, and I think a lot of people either feel isolated from it and not understand what we've done. But some people will absolutely love it because it's a lot of things at the same time.
Love it. So can you guys talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of the album?
I think it's a personal one. Like going back to what I said before, it was the first time I've produced like that bigger body of music, and trying to make something that is true to Hot Milk and kind of like as chaotic and spread out sonically and genre wise as possible, but also kind of make it cohesive. That was pretty challenging, and just the time frame as well. We had like 2.5 months to turn it around, like the whole thing. Like, is that right, Han? Like, write it, record it, produce it.
We was delivered like 2.5-3 months after we started writing it, and I think that's the thing in this one. It's like I don't think there's a bad song on it. Like, and I don't say that like I obviously have my favorites and my least favorites, but I don't think that there's like a bad song on it. And I think there's a lot of standout moments on this. I think specifically like Forget Me Not and Bloodstream. They're 2 songs that I think people will go, what the fuck, you know. I think that's good. I want people to be shocked. I want them to be on their toes. I don't want them to think that they're safe and that they know what we are as a band. You know, I want them to be constantly confused, and I want them to stop calling us pop punk, please.
Yes.
Oh yeah. All right.
I think another challenge was like we kind of got quite quickly to what we wanted to be like sonically, but visually, I think that took us a little bit by surprise because again of the time restraint. Like we weren't sitting with these songs for very long, So it was kind of like a real flash in the pan. Like, what does this look like if you close your eyes? Like, going back to how I said, like, well, we said how we want the record to be listened to. We just kind of like had to decide over like a week, like, what do we want this to look like? And we went through like 3 or 4 different iterations of the album cover.
Yeah,
and
it's a funny thing. I don't think I've spoken about this in an interview yet for this record, but basically, we had a few options for the album cover, and the label had kind of taken our ideas and gone away and come back and gone, what about these? And I'd gone, no, I don't like any of those. Like, I don't think they're like very us. And I just like, this was the Friday and it had to be delivered by the Monday, and so they kind of gave us no option. And so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take this into my own hands. And we were in a house in Santa Ana in California. I had an idea of what I wanted the cover to be in my head. I found an artist in Manchester, a gay artist in Manchester, where we're from. And I was like, if I take some photos right now, can I send them to you and you work on this overnight and I will pay for it myself? And he was like, sure, let's do it. And so I got you in the garage naked, took a picture of you. I got Tom, our bassist, to take a picture of me naked. And we sent them to the artist. And the next morning, he had got the artwork together, sorted it all out. And I, on the Monday, went, here's the artwork, shove the other ones up your ass. And then we just kind of, that was it.
Wow.
That's fucking awesome.
That's incredible.
I was like, I don't like it. I want to like it. It's got to sit on my wall. It's got to sit, we got to sit with that for like forever. It's our debut album. I have to like the artwork, right?
Absolutely.
I'm really stoked on how that turned out, because we were fucking stressing. We were like shouting.
24 hours though,
Yeah, we were just screaming at each other like out of frustration, and like it was just basically like I'd come up with an idea and then Hannah would come up with an idea, and we were like, I don't like that one. Well, I don't like that one. Blah, 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 blah. And then it was just kind of like, bam, what about this? And I was like, that's a sick idea. That fucking sums up everything. So
I was just like, okay, get in the garage. She's like, hang on, one sec. I'll be there in a minute. I was like, get in the fucking garage and let me take your picture. Take your top off.
Yeah. Oh my god. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Oh my god, in America or where?
Let's actually do
in
both,
America
because I'm curious.
Okay,
it would be those. You know what I'm going to say?
Do I?
Yeah, pickle lays.
Oh fuck!
Yes,
fuck
so good, so good.
Pickle lays.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You don't get them in the UK. Every time we go in, I come back on the bandwagon and I go, there was like,
yeah, we call them walkers.
Like,
yeah,
what?
Walkers.
Well, it was invented in the UK. Lays were Walkers. I don't want to give you the history of Walkers and Lays, but the Walkers crisps are the OG, and then you guys took them away and changed the name, just like you did with the Sorcerer's Stone from Harry Potter. You didn't know what a philosopher was, so you got changed.
I forgot about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they changed it. There's loads of things they changed to make more American. They just, like, no offense, but they do dumb it down a bit sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They have to over
I'm
here.
very sorry about that.
I walk on the side of the road, sidewalk.
Yeah. Oh, it's a White House. What shall we call it? The White House. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we could sit here and take piss out of America because it deserves it. But
absolutely.
But anyway, I like pickles in general. We don't really get good pickles over here. We love a pickle, don't we? And I do like them horrible hot dogs that are risky. They look like give you food poisoning, but I like to be a bit dangerous.
That's fucked up.
Will I shit myself? Will I not? Who knows?
Oh my god. Have you had a burger dog before?
What the fuck's a burger dog?
A hot burger. A hot burger.
A hot burger. A hot burger. It's fucking ground meat. I'm not gonna say beef or pork or anything. It's just meat in a hot dog casing. It's like really bad. It's awful.
Well, that sounds like it's something that would make me shit myself.
Try that on the next US trip
next
you
time
just
you're
remembered
here.
you had.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually next time in the US I'm gonna try and eat no meat. I'm gonna go meat free.
Well, there probably is like barely any
you guys
actual
put,
meat in it.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's true. It's just arsehole and ears.
Yeah. Sorry, continue. I cut you off.
To be fair, I wouldn't pick up any food, but I'd go and get either a sour beer or mezcal, because there's so much good mezcal or sour beer in the States. And
what, a rest stop in America? They don't fucking sell alcohol, you idiot.
They do, actually. They sell beer at gas stations, unfortunately. Yeah.
that they just promote the drinking and driving. It's a little fucked up.
It's kind of it's strange, right?
I think it's a good mezcal though, James. I think you're gonna get a bloody Bud Light. That's probably the best you'll get.
Yeah.
All right, fair.
Yeah, I don't. I quite like buying them shitty hats, and they've got some mad stuff.
They
like
have
the
some
Mimra
gnarly hats.
Yeah.
Come
The
on,
bedazzled
you're like, "Look,
ones.
Yeah, they've got some mad stuff. I always feel like everyone in there's an
trucker caps.
NPC.
The little trucker caps with like crazy slogans, like
Yeah, they're cool. Might get one next time. But I don't think the East Coast isn't as crazy as like
I
what?
saw that said MILF, and it was man, I love fishing.
You should have got that.
Dude, why aren't you wearing that right now?
Let me go get it.
But you're right. The Midwest, I think, is where this shit really shines. With Buc-ee's and everything. East Coast is tame compared to that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like the East Coast, when you're driving down like New York to New Jersey to Washington, I don't feel like there's a lot of I don't feel too in danger, but I do feel like I might be shot and killed at any point when we're driving through the lonely bits of the Midwest where you're like, oh my God, this country is barren.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Absolutely.
there. It's just, and everyone in the gas station is just like miserable, and they're like, uh-huh. And you're like,
Yeah.
thank you, and they're
And
like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's
It's like,
fucking awful.
I get it. There is not another town within 100 miles. Cheer
Yeah.
up a little bit, though. It's
Mad.
all good.
Exactly, just go on. Nothing bad happened to you. You've got a job. Calm down.
Exactly. You're surrounded by cornfields. Calm down, man. You're good.
Isn't it? But anyway, the UK, what would I get? We don't really have to stop anywhere in the UK because the venues are like 2 hours away from each other.
Yeah. Oh no, we have to stop because Hannah constantly needs a piss.
I do. I actually
Hannah was
recently
saying
pissed
you were
all
late
over
because you had to take a
Tom
shit. So,
Oh, was she now?
Yeah.
you guys both have to use the bathroom, okay?
We all have to use the bathroom. Fuck me.
Jim either says he's either I'm hungry or I need a poo. I'm hungry. My tummy hurts. I'm full. That's you on tour. Actually, that's you any time.
Whereas Hannah's good as gold. She doesn't moan about anything.
Nothing. No.
Never
Right.
complains.
Never.
It's always
She's
you.
always well behaved. She doesn't get in trouble with law enforcement.
No, never.
The goody two
Never.
shoes of the band,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Never got in fights with security ever.
No, that does not sound like you at all.
Oh, really?
Mm.
I'd never do such a thing.
So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh, wow.
I'm just thinking of ones I like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say like
A crab.
a crab. I don't know.
We've,
Or a
we've
bit
not
nippy
had much,
sometimes.
we've not had much sleep.
Yeah, we've not had
it's,
much
it's
sleep.
shining.
I could tell.
We've been doing
you know, one of those yappy dogs that just has nothing behind its eyes. It's just
Yeah.
like that's how I feel.
I was going to say that's not food.
Oh,
I feel like a yappy dog. I was like, oh, you eat yappy dogs, do you?
Mm.
Is it
Yeah,
Pomeranian
Italian?
for dinner.
Pepper. Oh,
I don't know. What would we be? Cheesy chips,
mm.
fish and
With
chips. I don't know.
With gravy. That's so
Kebab.
stereotypically British.
I don't know what we would have. Beans on toast.
Roast pork.
Roast dinner. That's what we'd be.
Yeah. I'd be the potato.
Yeah, you'd be a potato.
You'd
I'd be what would I be?
you'd be a
You are?
sprout.
Lauren's calling me a pie.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you'd be
You
a
think you
pie.
can come in my interview, you? Come in if you want.
It's because Han's face is so round. I either call her the moon or a pie.
I do
No.
look like yeah. I think I'd be a pie. I think we're a pie. Because when you open it up, you don't know what filling's in it. And we're like mysterious. Like, what's this
Ooh.
going to be? Oh, it's steak and kidney pie.
And
Oh.
you always burn your tongue on it because it's always
Yeah.
fucking well hot.
Dead hot.
Mhm. There you go.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh god, a hot milk pie. That's fucking.
Ooh.
Really, we should have
Oh.
said custard. We should have said custard because that's like
I
hot
hate
milk, really.
custard.
I know you don't. He doesn't even like milk.
Oh,
And he's in a milk band.
Unfortunately, yeah. I think I probably
I don't like the name. I wish we'd chosen.
oh my God, me
something
too.
it. It's a wild. I can literally have like a latte, and then I'm like, okay, see you in a bit.
Yep. Yes. I'm right there with you, man.
Oh,
So for these last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you guys.
We weren't on it.
We weren't even on it.
The food questions were so
So we're actually going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink? This is our final food question.
Poppadoms, onion chutney, and mango chutney.
Oh,
An Indian. I'd have a good Indian.
So we listened to a podcast called
Poppadoms on bread, James. Poppadoms on bread.
And we always say like, oh, we always do your dream meal because that's what they do. Mine would probably be, oh my god, I said it the other day and I've completely forgotten it.
You'd have a steak on it.
No, it wasn't a steak. No, it would be so. Oh god, this sounds so pretentious. I went on a backpack. I went gap year, around Bali, and I did my diving, and we caught a snapper fish.
A red snapper.
Oh, red snapper. Yes.
Cooked it on the beach. That was it. Straight off the fire, in my mouth. And I'd have my mum's sticky toffee pudding.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's just next level.
Red snapper is the best fish, so thank you for giving it its flowers.
Oh, it was beautiful. I can taste it now.
It's beautiful.
Love it. So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Star Wars. We always say this. I'm just Hannah's waiting for a letter from Hogwarts, and I'm waiting to use the Force.
I'm fucking not waiting for no letters from fucking Hogwarts.
Do you know when you?
I burn it down now, me.
The goody two shoes of the band, though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, would never burn it down.
Definitely a Hufflepuff.
Mate, you're not. You wish you were a fucking Jedi. Your midichlorian counts like 1.
Do you ever stand at a lift and when it shuts you go like that?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm such a nerd.
Of course.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But we always say like, oh yeah, if we were in Star Wars, we'd be like a Jedi or something like. We'd probably be like a fucking swamp creature or something shit.
Yeah.
Or like Jar Binks. Hannah would definitely be Jar Jar Binks. Oh my god.
No, we know.
Don't do that to Hannah.
Oh no,
we know who I am.
What's his? Not
James calls me Salacious B. Crumb. So if you want to Google who Salacious B. Crumb is from Star Wars, that's who I am apparently, according to James.
Absolutely. Jabba the Hutt's little character.
Salacious B. Crumb. That's who I am, apparently.
Dude. Oh my god.
That's fucked up.
I didn't know this guy had a name. I'll be completely honest.
He's got his own backstory.
Yeah.
He's got his own backstory. It's quite chaotic, I think.
Wow. He needs his own miniseries. I'd watch that shit.
Disney.
To be fair, Disney probably will do it now.
Probably. They're milking that shit dry. My god. Wow. He's awesome. All right. So I have the honor of asking the last question. There he is, Shane.
I didn't even notice the difference.
James is gonna walk into the casting room and be like, "I got the perfect pick for you guys." And just be like, "You don't even have."
You know what? He's got really long legs as well, just like me.
There you go. It's a match made in heaven.
Hannah's torsos are literally.
I've really fucked my phone up. You can't really see.
Oh my goodness.
Band guys, you can afford to replace your phone. Not.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Black.
Yeah, I was literally like, that's not a question. That is the easiest answer. Black. We got told recently, you can wear anything on this video shoot apart from black, and we were like, I don't think we can do it. Like, honestly, I don't think we can do it.
I literally shot this thing for Vivo yesterday. They were like, guys, is it okay if we don't bring any black clothes? And I was like, no. Maybe this is the most.
It was so bad. Tom had to perform topless. He just didn't.
Yeah, Tom had no top on. We didn't have any other clothes.
The funniest thing about
Luckily,
you
it's not
guys saying
that
this, you're both not wearing black right now.
Yeah.
That is true,
Well,
but it's
there
not
we
what I would
go.
like. It's true, but this is
what?
our house clothes. This is
This
our
is-
inside clothes. We've all got an inside cloth.
This is someone else's hoodie because I was cold.
Okay.
It is someone else's.
Hmm.
But I also do like the sky blue colour, because when you can see that delicious sky blue, that powerful sky blue outside, that means it's going to be a good day. No matter where you are, the sun's shining, you can see that blue, then it'll be great. Like I will see tomorrow, because I'm going to fucking Portugal. I'm getting away from this place.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
buzzing.
Fuck yeah.
So excited for
Hell
you.
yeah.
It's good.
I am. Have a little break.
Love that.
Good. Well deserved.
So, as Gloria said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Nice.
Hannah's mouth.
What was the question?
I'd love to plug that with like rope or
Anything that you would like to plug, Hannah.
Anything I want to plug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a butt plug joke there somewhere. Isn't there?
yeah, I was
Do I want to plug anything? What shall I plug? Yeah, go and pre-order our fucking album, you knobheads. Get it pre-ordered. Get it done.
That
We
comes
nearly
out.
died for this.
Yeah, comes out in August.
August 25th.
When's this podcast out?
Closer to the record.
Yeah.
Someone-
Okay. We're probably gonna be touring, so come see it. I hope we're touring. If not, we may well be dead. And if so, then keep streaming our music because it'll go to our family and our funeral costs. So
There you
there
go.
you go.
Hell yeah. All right.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you for now. This guy's been Hot Milk, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.